is Aaron Ben, and welcome to the Acid Lab, where I make beats and show my creative process. I've been making beats for about 6 years now. I started in 11th grade. I use FL Studio and Reason at times, but mainly FL Studio. Anyways, enough with all the talking. Let's get to the beats. When I started this song, I really didn't know what to do. So, this is usually how projects start. You just start with a blank slate. I open FL Studio and I either come up with a melody or chord progression. I usually start trying to come up with a melody, so I'll play around. And then the first 5, 10 are usually trash anyway, so you just... At that point here I was just like, I don't like that. I'm just gonna stick with some chords that just arp a little bit or pulsate. So I like this chord and I said, well, what comes after that? So ends up just like, I just came up with this. And then this is the 70s funk lead, and I just brought that in, and so ended up with something like this. So that's pretty much my process when I make a beat. I just come up with a chord progression and then a melody, or vice versa, and then see how many different things I can come up with. I'll load different instruments and just like play around, and then when something sounds good enough, I'll leave it there. If it doesn't, I'll just cut it out, delete it. And that usually happens throughout the entire process. Next, I just came up with a ARP, or yeah, actually not an ARP, but just a pattern, really, like different pattern. I just wanted that bouncy feel, just... After that, I was like, okay, like this needs to have drums, because if I don't put the drums down within that first hour and a half that I'm fleshing out the idea for the song, I lose my feel for where I was going with the project. So I usually don't start with drums. I don't know, most people I see start with drums. I find that kind of weird, and it was tricky because I wanted to do it all in one shot. I usually just like get my snare, my kick first, but I wanted to get everything. I wanted the snare, the kick, and the hat, and the open hat, like all just boom boom boom. So here's the samples. So I think the pattern was something like... After that came the bass. So the bass lines for me are like very, very hard. I have a love-hate relationship with bass lines, but like when you get it right, it just feels so good. Okay, so that's pretty much what goes into making a beat, at least when I'm doing it. I just try and come up with a melody, chord progression, drums, and a couple more melodies just to add some fullness to the sound. Once that's done, like the rest is just mixing, like you have a beat. So If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.